Alright, for this class I'll be focusing on electrical systems. And in these electrical systems, this tutorial is pushing you from Big Book Systems. Electrical systems involve electrical components and its fixtures. And perhaps, after creating all this, you need a legend for interpretation of an electrical system. So in no time, we'll launch our MEP application. This is my Revit MEP. I have a building of about 5th floor, and I just finished with the creation of a mechanical and a piping plumbing fixtures. So right about this class now, you can see that I've created some tanks and some distant stuff like that. So now I want to create an electrical systems. Here I would use the ground floor, so I double click on one MEP. Now one thing we must understand is that even if we have it as the heating, ventilation and air conditioning view, I can still change to electrical view. It's very simple to do that, because in electrical systems we have two things. We are creating power and lighting fixtures. So I can just come to this place now, and I can then of course go to new. From new, if I click on project, I have metrics here, and the kind of metric system that I have here is mechanical default metrics. This is a template. It's not as if I cannot create electrical systems here, but the thing is that the templates to show as an electrical template would not be there, because I can click on browse here, and then I can go to electrical default and click on open. When I open this, I'm going to see what I call lighting and power system. So that is that about that. I'll do that for us at the end of this tutorial. So if hopefully I just remember to do that. So I can maintain my 6th floor as well, which is this that I just created a piping system for. And you can see that when I click on MEP system, I can see plumbing fixtures here. But if I should click on this down now, you can see that on mechanical we have the portions or else to for heat, ventilations and air conditioning, and we have the portion for plumbing. So if I click on plumbing 1 here now, you see that the pipes that connect all these devices are there, and the plumbing 2 you can see on this place. So, and this is how we go to 3D plumbing. You see that we'll be seeing all those mechanical and then plumbing features right on this place. So I just want to maintain this, and if I should go to level 6 now, you can see this place now. So yeah, I want to input some electrical connections and stuff like that. Let me divide some of this room now. I'll go back to architectures, click on wall. When I click on wall, save the project. Cool. When I click on wall, I've not saved in the time, so I'm just going to generate some wall division. If I come to midpoint here, I can stay somewhere here and click right about this point, and I'll press escape. So this is a room stuff here, and this is another room, and I can make a cross divisions here, which is cool. And I can just press escape, so I have all the rooms span through each other. You can see that. So let me just now go back to home, and then I'll focus on electrical aspects of the MEP. So yeah, there are a few things we can do. Here is where we make our wire connections, and in this place is where we bring in our electrical equipment. Here are devices. There are variety of devices like electrical fixtures, communications, data devices, fire alarm devices, lightning, down to telephone, and perhaps also have electrical fixtures independently here, because here you have lighting. Lighting is different from lighting. Here you can see that it's a place of lighting devices, which is different from a lighting fixtures like fluorescents and other stuff like that you can make mention of. So in this place now, if I click on electrical equipment here, it will ask me that do I want to load family, because for this project I've not tried and load electrical equipment before. So I'll click on yes. When I click on yes, I'll look for electrical components right about this place. I'll double click, and then you can see that we have data devices, we have electrical equipment, which is what I need, fire alarms, lightning devices, lightning features, power devices, and tick marks. So I'll focus on electrical equipment and double click. On my electrical equipment, I have electrical equipment like connectors, orders, panel board, switch board, plus including transformer. So I'm going to make a placement of the one that I want. If I need a panel board, I'm going to double click on panel board. I can pick different panel board types that I want. Now if I should pick a panel board types, I click on this panel board type. I have a panel board here, lighting and appliance panel board. If I click on it and I said open, I'll wait for it to populate. It's going to populate in a few seconds. I can see that kind of panel board that I have. You can click on this change element. I can select 150 amps, 250 amps, 400, and perhaps 600. If I pick on 250, I have different placements. I can place on vertical face, place on face, or else to place on work plane. So if I want to place on vertical face now, what you're seeing right here is that I can see my electrical features component. If I say click on place on face, I can also see. If I say place on work plane, now you can see that here I can also see my electrical component. So what I'm going to do now is the MEP placement should be on level 6, which is very cool, and then I can't see any of those things. And I discussed with you in the previous video that if you cannot see equipment that you want to place, I haven't tried through any of this placement type. What I advise you to do is to type VG on your keyboard. VG. When you type VG, visibility graphics is going to come up. And what visibility graphic does, one of the features that visibility graphic does is that it makes us see our equipment, whether electrical or everything. You can see now visibility. Air terminal is checked, area is checked, detail item, duct accessory, duct fitting, and duct installation plus duct lining, and also flex duct. But you can see something like electrical equipment, electrical features, fire alarm devices, communication devices, and data devices are not checked. So what I'm going to do now is that raster images, security devices, telephone devices, wired, they are all not checked. Why they are not checked? It means that if I should make replacement of them right on this drawing, I'm not going to see them. So I can see that for floor 6 it's not checked. It may be checked in floor 1. So MEP is so technical. So what we are going to do is that I'm going to say show all category, and I'm going to say all, and I'm going to check and say all, and I say apply, and I'm going to say okay. With that, you can see that my lighting and appliance panel board is now visible. If I go to place on vertical as well, you can see now on vertical face. Place on face is also visible. Place on work plane is also visible. But I want to use place on vertical face, so it's going to be placed on wall. Now if I should click this place now and make my placement, I can see that the equipment has been placed. If I come here now, I can also make a placement right about this point. And you can see how I make placement of my lighting and appliance panel board. If I want more equipment, I'll click there because I want to create a system for this room alone. Now, creating for this room alone, understanding this room, then you can create for the entire drawing, irrespective of how large the project were. So if I go back to electrical component, switchboard now, circuit breaker, automatic transfer switch, metering switchboard, modular, transformer, utility, and stuff like that. Utility switchboard. You can see that metering switchboard, circuit breaker. If I said open, I wait for them a few seconds for it to populate, and then haven't populate, then I'm going to just place it at the right point. So you can see my switchboard now, and I'm going to place my switchboard maybe somewhere around here. Press the space bar, and then you can see my switchboard. Press the space bar again, I can place another switchboard here. Can click on this place now, I can change the switchboard diameter. If I go to load family again, click on electrical equipment, I can see transformer. I have connector here. I can go back, others, you can see what I have here. Then if I go back to switchboard again, I can select utility, and if I said open again on the utility switchboard, I wait for it to populate. I haven't populate. You can see utility switchboard, and I can place my utility switchboard wherever that I needed it. So if I click on this place now, I have my utility switchboard. I'll press the escape key twice, and that goes off. If I press my utility switchboard, you can see what it's telling me now. It's giving me features of create panel schedule, circuit, and also create a system. So the utility switchboard now can be used to create system alone. And if I come to what I call an electrical equipment, lighting and appliance, if I click on it, this also used to create a power system. If I come to this place as well, it also used to create a power system. But it's not only power system that we can create, because yet we don't have any lighting features right on this drawing. If I should go to my 3D now, and I come to right inside this room. You can see it was this room that I make all those placements. And then if I should orbit right very well here, let me get that clear here. You can see now for this room alone, I have my multi-utility switchboard and I have my lighting and appliances, and you can see their elevation. That's what I want you to understand about this lighting and appliances. If I should right click and go to element properties and come here, I'll see its elevation. It's elevated at 1200. But if we want to place it a bit up so that it's not just any hand that can touch it in case of kids and stuff like that, we can put another elevation. If I put 2400 and I press OK, what happens is that this is going to rise up. And if I select this and do the same thing to it, right click and say element properties and then 2400 at the same time and click OK, it's going to rise at the same time. And you can see how I have my components. You can see my switchboard, my distribution, my connection switch, and my stuff like that. So you can see how all this stuff we are being placed. Now I'll go back to my level 6 floor plan, and then that is that about that. So now I will create that. We can also add lighting features. We can add devices. We can add electrical fixtures. You can add lighting fixtures. So if I click on electrical features now, it said yes that I want to load electrical component, and then I'll go to lighting fixtures. Electrical equipment is no, so I have lighting features here that I can pick from. Power devices is none, so I can pick from lighting features because we have lighting features and lighting devices. If I come to lighting devices, you can see most of my lighting switch. You can see wall occupancy sensor. You can see low voltage devices sensor, lighting switch as well, and stuff like that. If I come to lighting fixtures as well, I can load it, and if I click on this place, double click on fixtures, and I can click on any type of lighting features that I want. Recessed lamps, trover, and stuff like that. And we can create the connections for it, street light and whatever. So if I should get a down light, ceiling light, flat round, you can see, and then I can click on open, and then I wait for it to populate, and then you can see now the placement that I have for this. And if I go to this kind of placement, I can drop somewhere here, and I can drop somewhere here as well, and I can also drop somewhere here. So I've just dropped 3 ceiling lights. I press the escape key twice, and if I select this ceiling light now, you can see what I want you to understand now. A ceiling light now, 2 things can be created for ceiling light: the power and the switch system type, because this ceiling light need the power. I haven't got the power, you also need a switch, and the switch can be connected to a junctions box or other related equipment. So excuse me, if I come back to these devices again, I can create a lighting now, which is a device switch. If I said yes, electrical component, and then lighting devices, lighting switch, and if I said open right about here, I'll wait for that lighting switch to populate, and when the lighting switch populate, you can see now there's a switch here I can place somewhere here. Place on vertical face is a switch excuse me, and the kind of switch that I have here is a 3-way switch. If I click on this drop